Welcome back, awesome H.A.C.K.S fans and subscribers. I hope you like my lovely warm jumper made by my mother. It was like -6 yesterday here in Beijing. It's going to get colder and colder and colder. I've got a great, or rather exciting review today. I've got some more of the water margin figures made by Z&T Productions in Hong Kong. So I've got this figure here, who I'm a little bit excited about, but I'm more excited about the horse, 1/18 scale horse, which I believe is articulated, and they've released this before the Boss Fight Studios steeds are coming out from Kickstarter, which I've backed. I'm waiting for those to come as well. I'm going to start with the horse, but I have to come back to the horse after him to see if he will ride on a horse, and I'll look at some other figures. Now, if you've not seen these water margin figures before, they are 1/18, but they're probably more like 1/16. They're actually bigger than most other 1/18 scale figures. So it'd be interesting to see how this horse compares with some other 1/18 scale figures, and I'll do a comparison later. So let me start with the horse first of all. So I'm really excited about this. Which side? Okay. Okay, comes with a big old base as well. That looks like a hand grenade. It can't be a hand grenade. Okay, nothing else in that box. Box just shows a picture on the back of someone drawing, or the figures, and the horse, and then some Chinese characters, and then just says Z&T Production Limited Hong Kong, water margin, model, heroes, children over 3 years old use, which is probably wrong since that has got small parts in there, and it is articulated. And then it just tells you it's based in Mongkok, Hong Kong, and Mongkok used to be, general knowledge, the most densely populated place on Earth. I'm not sure if it still is. Okay, so we have the horse. We have this. Looks like it's resin and like a tree stump there on the base. I thought that would make a different sound. Okay, that's got like a slot, so that must go on the base. Same with the tree stump. Different slots, so they go in different places. I have here one of these cards we get in there, just shows the horse, and then some information in Chinese in the back, so maybe one of the Chinese viewer subscribers can pause the video and read that for us, let us know what it says, or maybe it's just general information about the water margin. There's nothing else in there. Slide out a bag, not sealed. The horse seems a bit small compared to their figures. There is some animation. The plastic feels a bit cheap, if I'm honest. It does look quite nice. Just a simple joint system you can see underneath on the legs. Looks a bit tacky like that. We have what here? So this is... Oh, I see. So you want to put the hair on the back of the horse's neck would be this one here. Okay. This one, I'm not sure where this one slots in. It can't be that. Right. Oh, this one instead. Okay, so different hair on the horse's neck. That's pretty cool. This strap goes... I've no idea where. I'd have thought it had gone around the horse, but I can't see anywhere to... Okay, yes it does. So there is little clips you can see by my thumb here. So this will clip on here, go on the other side, and clip on the other side as well. The stirrups are quite good in this. The size looks quite good for action figure feet. I'm not entirely sure what that red thing is for, or this silver thing here. I guess I'll find out. This must be a stand for the horse. Then we have the base. Okay, that's quite easy to go in. quite atmospheric, but that will drop off otherwise. It's not a secure fit, it's just a put in place. Let's look at the horse. I was expecting it to be bigger. Okay, so joints, just T forwards, that's it with the legs, there's no outwards. Back legs, bit stiff, but the same, very stiff in fact. There is knee joint, and there is a small ankle joint as well. Back leg has the knee and ankle joint too. Let's put this in a standing up position, shall what sort of size this horse is. Actually, that's not a bad scale for 1/18. It'd be interesting to see how it will compare to the Boss Fight Studios ones when they come out. If I get a Boss Fight Studios figure, I've got Darsilk just here. That's a pretty decent scale, but I'm again thought it'd be slightly bigger. So, you know, it's bigger than him. It's how he can ride on this. It's not made for him, it's made for the other figures of the other toy line, but it looks like it's compatible. Saddle's good, but yeah, his legs are too short for the stirrups. You'd have to bend the stirrup up to go on his feet. In fact, there's only one stirrup on one side. The other stirrup, sorry, is up here. There we go. So his legs are slightly too short for the stirrups, but he still looks pretty cool on the horse. It's not a bad looking horse, just feels like its proportions are slightly wrong, and it's a shame that these legs don't go outwards a little bit, you know, even just a little bit, like the Marauder Task Force K9 dogs, where their legs go out a slight touch. That would make this even better. Does look nice. There's no articulation on the tail. The head does have, there we go, articulation, and oops, the neck, sorry, and the head also, which just came off there. Nothing on the mouth, but this one is quite loose, neck to the head. It's a nice looking horse, scales quite well, and then there is a slot underneath just there where you can do your posing for the horse, either just a straight in and looks like a straight down somehow. Doesn't go down far enough, and this bent one, so maybe for some sort of action poses, or maybe that way might be better. Nope, that doesn't look too good. I quite like it, but it's a missed opportunity. You know, they sort of beat Boss Fight Studios to the trigger, as it were, but they've not done enough, and the quality is not as nice as we would like. But it looks okay. Okay, let me move on to the figure. See, if his leg's not going outwards, he's tend to fall over. Now, he does have a turn in his knee joints, so it might be an idea to just turn them out slightly, so he gets a wider stance, but other than that, that's better. You know, it's just not as good as it should be. Okay, let's look at the figure. I'll put in the suggested videos links to some of the other ones from the new wave, and maybe I'll put a link to some from the older wave. Now, there's 3 of this type that I know of, and it's other new ones. I don't know if I'll get them all. I quite like the figures, and I'm tempted to get them all, but you know, there's only so much budget that I've got. Okay, I will slice this open. It's interesting that these are new boxes, not in the card boxes like the horse, how they used to be. Maybe this is because this is a budget figure, I don't know, or it's one of their army builder figures, perhaps. You know, I could probably just rip this off the card, but I'm being a bit lazy. There we go. Just take the card easier. Now the weapons they come with are awesome with this line. They are a bit big, but that's great. Spear and like this dadol, I think it's a dadol, like big sword they call it, but it's more of like a halberd. And is it chung for spear? I've forgotten. Used to do Chinese martial arts years ago. Okay, so I should show you the back first. On the back, seems to have lots of figures and stuff, and just tells you more about the products for ages 3 years and up, which I refuse to believe. So we have this very rubbery sort of shield sort of section. We have alternate hat for him. We have his base. We have it's like this marker stone, which will go which way? Which goes that way. And he can stand in there. What's great is the new ones come with loads of hands. The other ones came with 14 pairs of extra hands each. He has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 8 pairs. So, sorry, 4 pairs, 8 extra hands, including pointing and 2 fingers, which are pretty cool. Their hands aren't great for holding stuff normally. Comes with this different belt for his waist. Won't get in the way so much. This looks like it's a ponytail for him. Move this out of the way. Some little card, which again is in Chinese. Not sure if you better read this if you're Chinese already, because it's so small print. So the camera will focus on this. Yeah, I think it's going to be too difficult to read. And then the figure himself. So it looks like he's doing that. His hat will come off with his head. Now these figures do come apart quite easily. That's why I'm saying they're not for 3-year-olds. Okay, so there is the whole back of his head for the ponytail. Looks pretty mean like that. Pop his neck peg back in. He still looks hunched because of his clothes. Let's get him to stand up first of all. Okay, now let's see how he compares to the horse. He scales okay. If I compare him to H.A.C.K.S from Boss Fight Studios again, you can see that he is, let's get his feet flat. In fact, having said that they are bigger, they might have scaled down this one because he looks about the same size, or just slightly taller. Yeah, so it looks like maybe they scaled the size down. If I compare him to a G.I. Joe zombie viper, you can see he's considerably bigger than the zombie viper here. If I use a big figure, here we go. So this is it Uric? I can't remember. I'll put him in the videos too. That, you know, he now looks dwarf compared to him, and he's like big compared to the horse too. Let's look at his articulation. So he has a left and a right, a down, just about, and a small up, and a side to side a little bit. Shoulders, he gets, arm pops out. He'll get about 180, and then the sculpt gets the main arms to pop out. Now this is like a rubbery material, so it does give. Bicep curl is pretty poor knees, as you can see here, which is a shame. His hands do turn, but there's no other articulation. Oh, I'm telling a lie. And he does wrist articulation like this on both, and these ones are both fists. There should be waist under there. There usually is. Now you can take them apart and take the clothes off if you want. If I remember rightly, see if I can not. There we go. Break it. So he has a turn here for his waist. I don't recall there being any trunk articulation. So a quick look inside there. There is a joint I can see there. Not sure if it's trunk or not. So I can squeeze that out. Use a spear. Okay, nearly there. So yeah, he has got other articulation I can see as well now. But I'm struggling to get him his body out of this part here, that because his shoulders are bigger than his waist, obviously. Okay, so he has a trunk twist, but I can't see it having a side to side or forwards backwards. And he has a waist twist here on the bottom. Okay. Hips don't go so far normally. They can go about this far, not too bad. Much further, and the ball joint will pop out. He does have a double kneecap, and he gets not too bad with that. Pretty good. There is no thigh turn. There is no shoe turn, but he can do a okay tippy toe. And he can do a little Michael Jackson. And the feet don't turn this way. And they don't do this too, which is a shame, real shame. Okay, let's put his arms back in. Before I put his head along, I'm going to change his hands, so some hands that can hold something. Let me see. In fact, I'm sure he's smaller than the other ones now because his hands are smaller too, so I actually prefer this. It's almost worth buying them for the extra hands. You get quite a good selection. So you've got a pointing hand, which is really nice. You have a hold, not really holding. Okay, this is more of a gripping hand. The problem with that plastic on the hands, it's almost too soft. Then you have that sort of Kung Fu Jian, straight sword hand, like this as well. Or some people say Chi hand. So it's pretty good. They just reverse on both sides. So I'm going to give him a left hand pointing, and his right hand, I'll give him a grip hand. And these are jointed as well. God, that's quite stiff going into that little hole there. Okay. It's just these clothes, this is quite thick, makes it look very sort of shrugging his shoulders, look very stubby. And because he can't turn his foot, it's going to be hard for him to do some sort of balance on Kung Fu kicks. Okay. Forwards, and look at the forwards in his hips. Clothes are getting away, so he won't go that far, same with the backwards. Okay, so let's give him his, I believe it's Datao, if I remember rightly. Now my pronunciation will suck. And now he's issuing a challenge. You! And who will answer the call? Let's have him again. Dum, 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 dum. There's a nice bit of force perspective for you. Huge! Dum, dum, dum. So, it's a pretty nice figure. I am tempted to get more of them. I do quite like them. Just these clothes annoy me because they just really hinder articulation. I think I prefer them with a hat on, which does actually go over his ears as well, which is a really nice feature. The little ear holes there. Donk, donk. You see his ears are inside the holes there. But he can't wear the ponytail, he's got the hat on. Okay, that's pretty cool. Issuing his challenge again. Now he's in his official role as a soldier of whichever dynasty army it was at the time. Have his trusty horse next to him. Okay, so the last thing to see is how he fits on the horse. Just put these hands to one side and lose them. Oh, sorry, I did a lie. He's got his other hat here, which he can put on. Get his head off again first. And I won't show the other belt though. I don't think there's any need for that. But this one doesn't stay on particularly well. It looks quite cool. So I will stick with the leave. Nice bit on. Stay the red one for now. Okay, let's put him back. His head back in. His clothes are too thick, which really makes him look stubby because it sticks up half a centimetre from his actual shoulders. So that's why he looks like this all the time. And it also gets in the way of him trying to ride the horse. So the little button part would be where his belt goes in here, and that can go around his waist. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what this is for. That's like the stocks. You put his head and arms through there, maybe? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll have a look at that in a second. So feet in stirrup number 1. Clothes get in the way again. Yeah, this clothes, he can ride it. His feet are long and his legs are long enough, but the clothes are too rubbery. I might actually give that a quick bash again, not to bore you guys, I'm sorry. I've taken his clothes off. Oh, yeah, it's not happy about going down. I need to get maybe a pen would be something good to use. Yeah, he's getting there. What has really not wanted to come much further than that. And I don't want to cut them off. Okay, let's get a bit better. Woo! Ow, my nails. So this is for 3 years old and upwards. Yeah, not the 3-year-olds, that's for sure. Okay, a couple more pushes. Like a workout in itself here. Right, that front part is coming. Okay, here we go, here we go. Come to Papa. The back part is the issue now. That's coming up. Yeah. Almost there. I dread trying to put it back on now. There we go. Woo! So now we can put him back together. You get a better look at how he's actually made and his body type, which is not particularly athletic. judging by his stomach. Now he has got quite big feet, so he does stand up relatively easily. But it's a peculiar body type. They've given him sort of a woman's hips almost. So that's slightly amusing. You can see his flexibility now. He'll go, yeah, that far before the sculpt gets in the way. His feet won't adjust. Forwards, yeah, he only goes that far, and backwards. He go off to the side a little bit, but it's not too bad. So the waist, he has the turn here, and he has a turn at the top. And as you can see, the joints keep popping out. I quite like the aesthetic, and I love the fact you get these different variety of hands, which you've got joints in. Now, I'd be tempted to copy some of these hands, cast them, but if you cast them, you won't get that flexibility, and then the joint won't work either. But the variety is good, and the size is good. It's actually a matching size. If I have a quick look to a Boss Fight Studios hand, so I took in a left hand. If I put in, no, you take out his right hand instead. Now the peg is not as deep on this hand, and it's the wrong size, but the hand is slightly smaller, but it matches quite well if they're both the same. Just that it won't stay in. You'd have to do a little bit of customization work, which would not be difficult to do that. Not a bad all-round figure. I quite like him. I'm really, have to be honest, disappointed with the horse. I wanted more articulation in it. Stiffer on some of the joints, maybe. That's a shame. The guy's okay. You know, if you want to do a Saitama One Punch Man custom, this is not a bad start to go on, you know. And he does come out of that peg as well. Got quite a big hole in his head, but you can use the other 1/18 scale figures. Maybe too big for a G.I. Joe. Dark himself. Yeah, this head is big, too big again, but actually that would almost work. A bit of customization. Oops. That could work on Boss Fight Studios figures as well. That head. So that's pretty cool as well. So it's the Z&T Productions Hong Kong, who are based in Mongkok. Their Water Margin series, and I quite like the series despite the issues and the choice of materials and the loose joints. I think they look cool. They're more display items. So we have the horse, and here I have the soldier or guard, and I forgot to show the, I assume it's stocks. Is that the stocks? Let's have a look. So, it looks like the stocks as well, which is pretty cool. He's named and shamed on there. Not a bad little set, but for the price point, this was 200 RMB, which is about £20, and he was what, 168, which is about, it's about 10 to 1 to pound, so he's about 17 quid. I think the price point is slightly too high, but having said that, there is a lot of customization options you can do with them. Mixing with other lines, and you get a good variety of hands. Pretty cool hat, and the weapons I do like, 'cause they're quite sturdy and they do come out really, really well. Okay, so this is Awesome Action Toys, and I am signing out, and I'm saying please like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back soon and more Awesome Action Toy videos. for you. Stay happy and keep collecting, and please click on the notification icon to stay up to date, latest reviews, videos, etc. Okay, I'll be back soon with more stuff. Bye bye.